Hey guys, what's up and welcome back to Toe Tags Metal Reviews, and today we're giving you guys a review of Hate Über Alles by Kreator. So we've listened to this album non-stop for the whole week, and I just have to say it's pretty good. I enjoyed it. And one thing I guess I'll reiterate from last week is that, you know, it is something to expect from a band like this, but it's nice that it sounds quote-unquote modern. And what I mean by that is, like, it's a modern mix, you know? Mm-hmm. You get all these bands that are, you know, super big from 80s, very long time ago, and, you know...
Very long time ago, sorry.
Well, I mean, hey, yeah. The 80s were a while ago. I mean, let's be honest.
We're talking like 30, 40 years, 35, 40 years, yeah.
So, a while ago.
Yeah.
And the general audio quality is a lot different as to what you would hear now. So to hear a band like this make an album, sound true to themselves, and have a really modern, clear, crisp sounding mix is very, very nice. As for favorite tracks, honestly, the one that kept getting me was the title track. It hits like a sack of bricks. That scream at the start is amazing. I could just, every time I hear that song, I picture a nasty circle pit going. Mm-hmm. It would be incredible. It's got a fun, awesome chorus. Just the whole song is just crazy, and I love it. And one really cool thing about it that I noticed is that it transitions to Killer of Jesus really nice. Like, it's very seamless, and it took a few listens for me to really notice that. Like, oh wow, it just kind of just flows right into the next track, which I thought was really cool. And it's not the first time they do that on this album. The transition from Midnight Sun into Demonic Future is a similar thing. Doesn't sound exactly the same, but it's a similar kind of thing where it kind of has a noise that happens, just flows right into the next track. And I like that quite a bit. Speaking of Midnight Sun, which is one of the singles and a song that we reacted to, it has an awesome chorus. I love the layering of the harsh and the clean in that chorus. Love it. Just the delivery of the harsh lines, how it has a little bit of melody to it. I like that a lot, and every time I hear it, I'll be like, oh, that sounds so nice. I really, really like that. And generally, like, it feels like a strong album. It has, like, really good pacing to it, how you'll have the fast songs and the slower songs. It's still one big, mean, thrashy package. I just kind of found that some of the songs tend to just kind of come and go. You know, there are some songs I can look at here and be like, okay, how'd that go again? I'd put it on, oh, okay, this one, and it never really jumped out at me. But overall, there are songs I can say, oh yeah, that was pretty good, and that's recognizable. Strongest of the Strong is a pretty fun song. I like that one. Become Immortal, which is another single that we did react to, a pretty cool song as well. And I think a big part of that is just from watching the music video. Mm-hmm. And so, it gives you an idea as to what the song is about. So I feel like with that in mind, after we checked out that music video, the song got better, honestly.
Yeah, you know what? You said a lot of things that I totally agree with there. The part about songs not standing out in this album, I agree to an extent, but I'm also going to contest that a little bit, because I do think a lot of these songs have a lot of personality, a lot of their own identity. And the reason why I think it's fair to say on this album specifically is because the thrash genre, that's really hard to do, I find anyways. It's really hard for thrash songs to stand out amongst other thrash songs, especially for a whole album to have songs that each have their own kind of personality. I think they did a terrific job on this album, really not making the album sound like it's the same song over and over again. There's a lot of contour here, there's a lot of variety here as far as the overall music goes. So you have the title track, for example, which is track number 2, which is a explosion out of the gate, basically. And then you got a couple, you know, heavy songs. And then you get into like Strongest of the Strong, which is still heavy, but the pace is slower. You got that pace change there. Become Immortal, pace is a little slower. Conquer and Destroy picks up a little bit. And then Midnight Sun is, again, probably the most accessible song on the album, which usually is my least favorite song, but this song kept growing on me and growing on me and growing on me and growing on me. They have the guest vocal feature from Sophia Portinet. And I got a lot of Cradle of Filth vibes from this song because of this female vocal. It's just stylistically very similar to something that Cradle does, because they got, you know, their female vocalists. But the melodic elements of this song are so strong. Harmonized vocals are nice. The song just stands out. It doesn't feel like any of the other songs. It really is like a shining light on the album. Riffs are great, and like I said, it just grew on me the more and more I heard it. And then right after that, you got Demonic Future, which is just that good old thrashy goodness. So you got these things that are breaking up the pace. At the end of the day, I really like this album a lot more than I thought I would, honestly. On my first impression, it was like, oh, this is just more Kreator, yeah, this is what I expected. But really putting an ear to this and really kind of combing through it and really putting some effort into listening to it, I started going, you know what? There's a lot of love here. They didn't just throw an album together, right? Another song that I really started liking was Pride Comes Before the Fall, right? This is track number 10 out of 11. Starts off with this soft keyboard and clean vocals, then it just picks up. Got a great solo. My issue with it was the solo kind of ends abruptly. I was like, that might be my issue with the album as a whole, is the solos weren't as fruitful as I'd like them to be.
Especially for a thrash album.
Yeah, I feel like there's been a bit of a cultural change with thrash albums, and maybe I just don't listen to enough thrash these days, but I feel like back in the day there was solos would be a minute or 2 minutes long, and now it's you get 10 or 20 seconds and then it just kind of is over. I feel like I really want those old school long solos and the trades and stuff like that to come back a lot more plentiful, but beggars can't be choosers. I guess the solos are still good. It's just I'm greedy. I want more. I already mentioned a Cradle of Filth vibe kind of example, but the last song has some Cradle vibes on it as well, and it's because there's this narration kind of voice that happens near the end, and Cradle of Filth does stuff like that as well. Maybe Kreator's done stuff like this before. I don't know. I'm not a huge Kreator fan, but my point of reference is Cradle of Filth, so that's what I say. But yeah, man, there's a lot of songs that stood out to me. Crush the Tyrants was good. Conquer and Destroy was good. Killer of Jesus sounds like something Deicide would write, because that's just right up their alley lyrically and whatever. But still, hey, like I said, I'm not a huge Kreator fan. Maybe they write, anti-Christian stuff in their music. I just don't know. Overall, though, I was pleasantly surprised with how much I enjoyed this album throughout the week.
Well, I guess with that being said, how about we rate this album? So what do you give it?
Honestly, I'm surprising myself with this one, but I'm going to give it a toe tag, because I think it is a true testament for a thrash band, especially one that's been doing this for nearly 40 years, to be able to put out something that sounds so fresh and it doesn't get boring after repetitive listens. That is impressive to me. I enjoyed it a lot. Lots of good songs on here. I think it's worth a toe tag.
Well, as for myself, I do think this is a very strong album, and as Vile said, it is a very fresh and I guess perhaps even unique sounding album among thrash, especially modern thrash. I just found that for myself, it didn't really have as much of a memorable grip on me as perhaps that it did for you. So it's unfortunately not going to get a toe tag for myself, but I am going to give it a 7 because it is a strong album regardless. And it does have a lot of tracks in there that is definitely worth checking out. And, it might not have gotten 2 toe tags, but a toe tag and a 7 is still a very strong score for an album as such.
For sure.
Anyway, guys, that's all we got for you today. Remember to like this video if you liked it. Comment, tell us in the comments below, what did you think of this album? It's been a week since its release. Remember to subscribe if you guys are new to the channel. I'm TV Fish.
How about yourself?
We'll see you guys later.